Well, here we are again. But it's not November 18th, as I've been saying. It's in December. The last several videos I've made, I'm only a month wrong. It's morning time. It's cold. No, not cold. It's a little nippy. I'm back out here for a guy that needs to get a job. I seem to have a decent work ethic, eh? But speaking of jobs, I just keep thinking of jobs that aren't jobs. How about sign twirlers? Or pawn shops? I guess they're legitimate. People need it. But they're scandalous. Or hedge fund investment brokers. I knew this dude. I knew this dude in program. He'd been a big deal at the Whipple program. But fuck anonymity. Anonymity only goes if you're in program. I used to sit next to Tim Allen all the time because I didn't fuck with him and everybody else wanted to suck up and be a little sycophant. But this other guy, he had been a broker, then found himself drinking fancy wine directly out of the bottle while talking too loudly in his non-Bluetooth phone convertible, in his convertible Mercedes, carrying a gun in his lap and sniffing cocaine, to where when he finally got stopped, they found that, well, they noticed the white powdered donuts around the rim of his nose, and they found a bunch of cocaine and the unregistered gun, and so he lost everything. Everything. Went to prison for a couple of years. So he gets out, and we talked for a while. He was going over to Whipple, and he was a very humble guy at that point. Very grateful for his freedom and all this. Well, this wasn't too long before the 2008 deal, where he had gotten a little capital to put up with. Hold on, no, and somebody had given him some. I don't know. He did some brokering. Shortly after the crash, he'd come up $500 million from brokering hedge funds, which is basically betting against the market. So instead of, you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's playing both different sides of the field. That's fine. But then I didn't see him in program for a while. Meanwhile, life goes on. I would like to say I fell in with the wrong crowd, but I just fell in with a crowd, because I don't know if there's ever a right crowd. Everybody says, I fell in with the wrong crowd. Who's the right crowd? One thing I'll say about AA and NA and all these A's is that I don't know why anybody expects any kind of actual good behavior out of these people, because, yeah, they were broken. Someone told me that. Why wouldn't the treasurer of an AA meeting take all the money? If you've ever been in program, at some point you'll probably hear, oh, my goodness, the treasurer of this so-and-so meeting, including Al-Anon, which is people that are affected by alcoholics. So you would think they would be better because they're trying to, I live with an alcoholic and it's just so traumatic, I can't hardly deal with it. And one of the treasurers from one of these meetings did some very alcoholic behavior. What's bad is when you get one alcoholic going to one Al-Anon meeting and the other alcoholic going to the other alcoholic meeting, but then they share AA meetings because they're both living with alcoholics, but they're both alcoholics, and so, you know. Anyway, within a short course of time, a couple years later, I go to bid this gatehouse job off Coldwater Canyon, up over the hill, a lavish estate. And so this guy had 3 roads leading into his mansion, and each one had a gatehouse. But one of them, they'd already had 3 different construction companies working on it, and so they none of them had built the gatehouse level. Now, there's tools for that. We're telling you what's a level and what isn't. So I don't know how this could be, but be that as it may, we did get the job because piece of shit, old lazy panhandling now, and fucking crazy, violent convict Brian that doesn't take anything reverent. Well, but the 4th construction company, being me, I did build the gatehouse, and it was level. So, anyway, it was to this guy's new house, new mansion. His name was Jeff. And he had been or become buddies with Mike Tyson, had hosted Tyson's wedding there, and he had these animals carved out of, now these were like life-sized animals, like there was a tiger and a giant snake and a dragon. Now these were life-sized animals. A couple of them weren't real animals, but they were life-sized, and they were carved out of this sort of stone quartz crystally shit. They were kind of cool to look at, but a little bit cheesy. I mean, he had them laid around, and there was a lap pool that was just, and then there was a regular pool, and there was tennis courts and vineyards, and this house was ridiculous. And that's a big dog barking at me somehow. Anyway, yeah, he had built this place. So, well, of course, who wouldn't? With $500 million, you come up on $500 million in a year, yeah, might as well. Because you know you're going to lose it all again anyway. Because if you're riding around doing cocaine with a gun in your lap, drinking wine out of the bottle, that's an itch that a scratch will never cover. Yeah. I didn't view his job as real. He got out of prison because I worked for a living. Working, to me, connotates you at some point in your life, in your career, you have to actually sweat a drop. So, no, he didn't work. And then there was, well, then I look at the entire industry of hip-hop and rap. There's a few of them, though. I mean, like, I liked Nipsey Hussle, 50 Cent. You know, there's some guys that are socially conscious, and they don't, I'm not big baller, shot collar, make it rain, make the chicks holler, you know, fucking, most of that shit, save it. If you gotta steal the music from someone else's shit by sampling a bunch of different stuff and then put your own fucking pathetic, like, douchebag rhymes on it, well, fuck you. You know? How about a little thought in your art? But then there's the entire Democratic Party. Well, okay, I could be an insurgent spy in another country. I don't think that's productive for America. I don't even call it legitimate at all. I call it just building a cover. So then there's, oh man, what else have we got that's, I'm looking around at this mall trying to think about, there's a bunch of different jobs that people have that aren't really jobs. They're not jobs. And then the people that are wealthy, 92% of them, they were born that way. If they work, it's because they got bored. They had so much money. They spent so much money. And they ran through all the exciting things to do. How many times are you going to jump off of freebase off of El Capitan before you're tired of that one, or so if you were born with money and you never have to work, then, or unless you're doing some kind of philanthropic work where you actually keep enough to keep yourself involved but try to help humanity. Now, I don't care where you come from. That's a decent job. There's just 1,000 different ones where people make money and they're like, oh, how innovative, how creative. He's found a niche to be able to earn his income. Well, okay. If that niche is bullshit, though, then what does it fucking matter? It's fine. I'm not even judging it because I do believe in freedom and liberty. On the other hand, give me the freedom and liberty to do what the hell I want. I'm watching some guy stand in the middle of the street arguing with cars. That's a guy that really is tired of living. Plus, all these cars now that have traded actual performance for a faux sound of performance, whatever they do for work and whatever they do in life, fuck them. Their attitude, it used to be. Now, I guess it's probably about the time they made it so that you don't have to give air and water unless you buy some gas from the gas stations. Probably about that time is when they just removed the law of any kind of noise violations from automobiles. There used to be a limit to how loud your car could be. Now there's no limit. I think a lot of them must be off-duty cops because they never, ever get stopped. Hi, thank you very much. Have a great day. And even if I never made a cent, there is just an endless parade of fucking really hot women in this world. Here's a frustrating thing about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Of course, she's one of those ones. When I first saw her in the public eye, she looked kind of hot. I mean, she could still look hot in a way, except that it's the case of when a beautiful woman who's self-entitled opens their mouth. Ever seen a beautiful woman and you think, oh man, she's really hot, and then they open their mouth, they're like, and they're just dripping fucking self-entitlement, sarcasm, and loathing and disgust at our, even if I was the richest man in the world, you're just a man. So, yeah, they instantly become horridly ugly. I don't know. This whole thing with people's judgment. I mean, do other jobs have judgment? And like everybody that works at Panda Express, every Panda Express in California now, they are fucking psycho about this mask thing. That's not their job. If someone wants me to do something in the name of public health, they better get out there and make me do it. Don't have some chow mein server fucking do it. Because that's not their job. All that'll do, that's like me trying to just go up and tell some woman, hey, you got a bra on, or you got your fucking whatever, you know. I don't, it's not within my purview to do that shit to people. They need to mind their own fucking business. So every Panda Express server, every I've had to deal with all kinds of fucking police people, but every cop except for, I don't know, 7. Man, this world is whack. I used to have a point. The whole world used to have a point. I don't have a point anymore because the world doesn't seem to have a point. It's like if I was somebody who had been rigorous about watching out for my future, and I had my stuff, and then I just had my small business wiped out by politics because of whatever kind of capricious bullshit they got, and then I lost everything, I would be pissed. So pissed. Merry Christmas, you got nothing, buddy. What are they doing? Going through their savings, burning it up, trying to do something else, starting over. I did that too. Did career changes, tried to start over. When I was doing construction, I did my shit on time, quickly, cleanly, and still got fucking shoved out of the way because in California, the ethic is we're going to underbid every job by an impossible standard. You underbid it to the point to where nobody could possibly have a competing bid. But the point is that you get the job, and then after you've run off all potential competition, you get the job, you destroy their house, gut it. It takes nothing but a couple of fools with hammers to demolition everything. Maybe a jackhammer, maybe some brooms, and you get it all demolition. Their walls stripped, their plumbing out, their wiring out. You're doing a remodel, and you just fuck their house up. And then you stick your hand back out, even though it's not in the contract, that wasn't in the bid. Oh, well, you know, there was a bunch of overage costs, and so now we don't have any money, and it's going to cost you literally twice or more as much as it would have if you'd have just gone with an honest bidder. But the thing is, with me, I can't do that. I'm a piece of shit crook. I'm just not a built-in fucking liar. And a lot of people are. They can just, hey, this guy said it's going to cost you $10,000 to do this. I'll do it for one. And the bottom line just enamors me. There's a construction guy. Thank you. Are you honest? Yes. You have a hard time in construction?
Yes, hey, thank you for your service, bro.
Thank you. You know what my other sign is?
What's that? Yes, sir.
That's a good smile. Yeah. You have a great day. I was just making a video about how honest construction workers have a hard time.
Yep. Hey, have a good one, man.
Take care. I like to fuck with people. You know, I mean, there's not a lot left in this world. What can you do? You fuck with people. Play with them. Make them... You know? Because to just say, thank you, or a lot of people that come out and do this, I understand why people are judgmental to homeless people and panhandlers. I understand this. Most of them are bitter and broken and fucked up and mean and shitty. But you got, you know, the other side of it is that people that are homeless and having a panhandle, they receive so much vitriol and judgment. Nobody really fucks with me. Once in a while, someone is driving by might say, get a job. And I'll go, got one? And that's it. But, like, Tracy's had rocks thrown at her, coins hit her in the face, people spit at her, they yell shit, they say shit. The only reason they don't do it to me is because apparently I look like the predator I am. But when you shove people out to the exile of regular society, you know, one day they got a job, hi, how are you? Thank you very much, you have a wonderful day. When people get shoved out of society, they become pariahs and exiles, and they can't understand why. Especially for something like closing businesses, you know, like in LA, all the small businesses that are closed. Now, there might be a lot of bullshit lies on both sides, but we come from LA. I've only been away from there a few months, and we go down there on a pretty frequent basis. The place looks like a fucking war zone of closed, boarded up windows and shops. Because people have lost their livelihoods due to somebody saying, do this and don't do that, and we'll shut your water off, and Garcetti being a fucking punk.